many bank accounts do you have? 1, 3? Did you know that having multiple accounts can actually help you manage your money more efficiently? It totally can. Stick around because I'm going to break down which accounts I think you should have and why. Hey guys, my name is Kristin. Thanks so much for checking out this video today. I'm going to share with you all of the bank accounts I think you should have and why. So back in the day, I feel like it was commonplace for most people just to have a checking account and a savings account, both, one or the other. But these days it seems like people have a ton of bank accounts. We have multiple accounts, and I want to share with you what we use them for and why I think you should set up your finances in a similar fashion. So let's jump right in. Now, the very first account that we have, and I'm sure you probably have as well, is just a plain old checking account at our local bank. And here's what we use this for. This account is kind of like our household operating account, if you will. All of my husband's paychecks and any other money we have coming into the family is deposited into this main checking account. And then we will handle everything from this main hub. We use this account to pay our bills. Most of our bills are done on our bill pay through our bank, so I will do that through this checking account. We take any bills that we are going to save for quarterly or bi-yearly expenses. We transfer that out of this account. We transfer our mortgage payments out of this account. And we use this account to pay off any expenses we've put on our credit card every 2 weeks. We use this account to give any money to our church. And we use this account to take out our cash every paycheck to fill our cash envelopes because we are cash envelope users. If you too are curious about or would like to get started with the cash envelope system, go ahead and check out this video right here. When you're finished watching this video, that's going to give you all the information you need to get started using the cash envelope system. Now, the reason I love having a local checking account is mostly because it's really close to our house. So when my husband's paid and I sit down and I do our budget and I figure out what we need to take out for our cash envelopes, I can quickly just hop in the car, run down to the bank, either hit the ATM machine or go through the drive-through and grab the cash we need to fill our envelope. So it's really just a matter of convenience for us. Plus, we've had this account for a really long time and I just don't see any reason to leave it. We like the bank, it works fine for us, and I think we'll probably be here for the foreseeable future. Now, another thing I'd like to mention is if you and your partner or your spouse keep your funds separate, this would be a great place to have multiple checking accounts within the same bank. It's really simple to move your funds back and forth between accounts, and it would be much more convenient if you have to go to the bank and withdraw cash from multiple accounts to be able to kind of just have a one-stop shop where you're going and you're taking everything you need without having to go to different banks at different locations. The next bank account I would recommend is then having a savings account at that same local bank. So if you budget anything like us, as I mentioned earlier, we take money out of our checking account every pay where it sits until we need it to pay our quarterly or bi-yearly bills. If you check out any of my budgeting videos, I'll leave a playlist so you can watch those up here. But if you watch any of my monthly budgeting videos, then you know that we do have a couple bills that we pay on a quarterly basis. So each month, we take a third of that bill, since there's 3 months in the quarter, we transfer that to our local savings account, and when the bill comes in the mail and it's time to pay it, I then just take the money out of there and pay the bill. The other thing we use our local savings account for is we do keep a very small amount of our savings in that savings account, just in case we're ever in a bind and we don't have anything in our checking and we need to grab some money fast. We can go ahead and go to an ATM and just take the money out of that savings account. I'd say we probably only keep anywhere from $100 to $200 at a given time. Nothing too substantial. We'll talk about where we keep that money in a couple minutes. But the other thing we do is we have our life insurance premiums automatically debited from our savings account as well. So whatever money we are putting to the side for those will get transferred out of our main checking account that we discussed a minute ago and sent over to our main savings account, and then that's taken out automatically. We can just put the money over there and completely forget about it. So it's really just out of sight, out of mind. It happens automatically, and it's not something I have to worry about every single month. The next account that I recommend having is a high yield savings account. We have had a high yield savings account. I've actually had it since before my husband and I started dating. So I don't know, a really long time. And we have recently opened up more high yield savings accounts. So we kind of go back and forth. We use Ally and we use Capital One. We love them. We love both of these banks. We've had wonderful experiences with both of them. Like I said, I have been using Capital One for over 15 years now, and I have always had a wonderful experience. Nothing bad to say about them. And we more recently started using Ally as well. Both of these banks are going to pay you a ton more interest than your local checking and savings are going to pay you. So we use these to keep larger sums of money that we withdraw a lot less often. So it actually has the time to accrue a little bit of interest, and it's not just sitting there earning nothing. It's not exactly going to make you a millionaire, but if you're going to have a substantial amount of money sitting in an account for a substantial amount of time, you may as well earn something, right? So we earn at least $100 a year in interest just from these high yield savings accounts. Again, if you have a lot more money in the bank, you're gonna earn a lot more money than us. It's all relative. And of course, the interest amounts are going to fluctuate. The other reason I like these accounts is because they're strictly online. So you're not having to run to another location, and it's a lot easier, I feel, to deposit money into these accounts and kind of forget about it. So you're not tempted to take the money out. Now, if you do need to access your money, you're going to have to wait a couple of days. So these accounts are really better for funds that you do not need constant access to. We use it for our emergency fund savings. We use it for our children's main savings accounts as well. And it's really good to have something that's a little bit more hands-off. You're still able to transfer money between your local accounts and your online accounts, but it does take a couple of days to move back and forth. So it's a really great deterrent to keep you from grabbing money every single time you want money, because it's going to take you longer. So you're not going to be able to get that instant gratification. You're going to have to practice some patience with your online savings accounts. I highly recommend both Ally and Capital One, and I do have a link where if you decide to open a Capital One account, you can get a $25 bonus. I will leave that link for you down below. So let me know in the comments, do you have any high yield savings accounts? Have you tried these kinds of accounts before? Are you familiar with them? I'd love to know. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I would love if you would subscribe to my channel while you're at it and join my family here on YouTube. We also have a high yield checking account. This doesn't really earn us much more interest because we are putting our money in for short amounts of time and then taking it out automatically. So what we use this account for is our mortgage payment. So every single 2 weeks, we take half of our mortgage payment from our local checking account when my husband's paycheck is deposited, and we transfer it to our high yield checking account. Then each month, that mortgage payment is taken automatically by our mortgage company from our checking account. Now, we also do have a debit card with this account, but we don't use it since we don't access that money for anything but our mortgage payment. And the nice thing about doing it this way is I know there's no chance that I'm going to accidentally pay something extra with our mortgage money and short the account by mistake or overdraw. I also keep one extra half a mortgage payment in this account in case there's ever any problem with the automatic payments going through, or I accidentally forget to make a transfer, or anything happens. There should be no issue with not enough money being in this account to make our mortgage payment every single month. I think we began doing this in the beginning of 2019, and it worked really, really well for us. If you either have a hard time paying your mortgage payment on time, or maybe forgetting about it, or accidentally spending money and not setting the full amount aside, I highly recommend you doing this. What happens this way is you're also going to end up with an extra full mortgage payment in this account at the end of the year. year. So when the year ends, you can either take that and make a full principal payment on your mortgage, or you can withdraw it and put it towards some of your other financial goals. But it's a really great way to keep yourself on track and keep everything really nice and separated, so you know there's no problems with making your mortgage payment every month. The next account I want to talk about is a short-term savings account. Now you could technically keep this in any type of savings account that you'd like. Personally, we still keep ours in a high yield savings account because I do want it to at least be able to go to work for me and earn some money. We are not currently contributing to this account because we're still working to complete our 3 to 6 month emergency fund, but I can tell you what we intend on using this short-term savings for. When we are done our emergency fund, we are then going to start putting extra money aside every single month for when we are in need of purchasing new cars, for vacations, for Christmas savings, for anything else that we're going to set up specific sinking funds for. If you're not sure what sinking funds are, you can check out this video when you're done here. That's going to give you all the information you need to know to get started using sinking funds, and they are an awesome tool to help you budget. But the point of having the short-term savings is basically so that you keep your hands off your emergency fund. Remember, emergency fund is long-term savings. That is something you do not want to touch unless there is a true emergency and you need the extra money to keep yourself from going into debt or having to use a credit card. So the short-term savings can really be for anything you want. Maybe you want to save up to go on a girls' trip. Maybe you're going to get married and you want to start saving up for your wedding. Or maybe you want to save up for some home renovations. It really doesn't matter. It can be anything that you want to use it for, but it's still going to be a little bit more liquid so that you can access it whenever you want. You can even keep it in a money market account that's going to allow you to earn a little bit more interest as well. It's great to keep it in a separate account, and I'll tell you why. If you're going to keep short-term savings mixed together with long-term savings all in the same account, it's not that there's anything wrong with that, but what happens is it can kind of blur the lines between what you are saving for X and what you're saving for Y. So unless you're really good about keeping track about how much you have allocated to each savings in that account, it's going to be very easy to accidentally spend money that is really supposed to be in there to cover you in the event of emergencies. And I would hate for you to spend that money and now have an emergency and have no way of taking care of it and possibly pushing you back into debt or kind of going one step forward, 2 steps back. So I really think it's a great idea to keep that short-term savings and long-term savings separate. That way you don't have any confusion and spend anything you don't want to spend. The last account I want to tell you about today will only apply to some of you, but that is a business bank account. So if you're like me and you work for yourself and you have any kind of business income coming in, it is really important that you keep that completely separated from your personal money. So you really don't want to be commingling your funds between your personal and your business. It just gets a little murky. I'm not a tax professional. I'm not here to tell you exactly how to set up your business finances, but I just do want to let you know that if you are currently bringing in business income, it's a really good idea to separate it. You can use a normal checking account at your local bank. You can keep your business finances at a completely separate bank if you think that may be more convenient for you in some way, or you can even use online accounts for your business. Again, talk to your accountant. Whatever is going to make the most sense for you and be more convenient for you, that's what I suggest you do. So those are all the accounts I wanted to share with you today. Remember, your finances do not have to be set up the same way as mine are. I just wanted to give you a couple ideas of how you can maybe separate out different parts of your finances to make things a little bit more streamlined for you. I hope you found some value in this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I'd love to see you back here next time when we are discussing tips on how to to be successful at budgeting. I know budgeting can be a huge struggle for so many of you. So in this next video, we are going to talk about lots of tips to help you really become successful at budgeting. Some mindset shifts and some other principles that are really going to help change the way you approach budgeting, and I think they are going to be a game changer for you. So I will see you up here in this video next. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a great day. Bye.